Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we have another project which I have to get done before the Overland Rally, which is next week. This project involves taking this Fire Stick CB radio antenna, which I have mounted to this light bracket, and I need to move it to a better location. The reason I need to move it, well, there's two reasons. One is that the cab is right here, so I'm blocking a lot of my reception that I can otherwise get with this antenna. And two, this light bracket is attached to the bed rail, which is not even close to a good ground. It's not connected to the frame at all. I need, basically, to get a good ground, I need to be able to connect this antenna to a big chunk of metal, ideally the frame. However, I've decided, because there's no real way to get to the frame or ground to the frame from the bed, I am going to make a bracket on this bed rack, this Relentless Fab bed rack, and I'm going to make a bracket right about here, which welds into this bed rack and basically creates a much better ground than what I've got right now. Hopefully it'll be enough ground so we can get this antenna pretty well tuned up. And also what it's going to do is lift the antenna up much farther, and I'll get much better reception. So I'm going to show you how I make the bracket. It's just going to be a simple little thing. I'm going to weld it on, and then I'm going to show you how I tune the antenna. So let's get going. In order to make this bracket, I've got this piece of 1 1/4 inch wide, 3/16 inch thick, just plain mild steel that I picked up from Home Depot the other day. And I'm just going to cut it and put a piece sticking right about there to clear, maybe right about there, to clear the cargo basket and any tools I stick right here. And I've already got it measured out. I'm gonna have a piece about 2.5 inches long coming out from there. I think that'll give us plenty of length to be able to stick that antenna on and not hit anything. So let's fire up the plasma and cut this thing. Here we've got ourselves a nice little bracket. Still pretty hot, so I can't touch it too much. But yeah, we've got nice filleted top edges. Drilled out a nice hole. It'll look good when painted up. Not perfect, but you know, doing it by hand, that's what you get. I have decided to not put it there because the head of a tool might slide back and hit it. I'm going to put it right here. Sticking out like right there. So let's grind off this paint. We're ready to weld up the bracket. I'm just going to throw one little tack weld on there and then mount the antenna to see if it's level. This is not the most calculated way of doing it, but whatever. And now that I know it's straight, I'm just going to throw a big fat bead on there. Alright, I have the antenna all hooked up in the back, and I'm about to tune it. Now, you want to tune the antenna in as ideal of conditions as possible. Basically, you want the truck running, you want all the doors closed, you want the antenna mounted like it's going to be, just because the tuning is very sensitive and any changes will affect the tuning possibly significantly. So when you tune it, you want it set up the way you're going to use it. You want to preferably be in a pretty wide open area. Unfortunately, I'm in my driveway, and I pulled out a little to try to get away from the building, but it's not ideal, so I might have to retune this thing. But we're going to do it here just to show you. So to tune, my goal is to get, let's see if it'll focus. It doesn't really want to focus. Come on. There we go. My goal is to get that needle to be within the 1 and the 1.5 while I'm actually transmitting. That's the SWR reading, and I'm not some radio aficionado. I don't know too much about radios, but I know enough that the conductor length on the radio has to be just right in order to get that all set up, and the ground plane has to be just right. Coax cable needs to be undamaged, all this stuff. So basically, to do that, what I want to do is I want to flip this into the forward position, and I want that reading to be between 1 and 1.5 on all channels. So I'm going to turn the radio on, and currently I'm on channel 40. What you want to do is make sure it's between 1 and 1.5 on channel 1 and on channel 40. That means it'll be between 1 and 1.5 but on all channels in between. So what I'm going to do first is I'll put it on channel 1 first. Alright? So what I'm going to do, see if I can do this with one hand. I'm going to transmit while the switch is in the forward position. Now I want that needle to be right on the set. I can adjust it using this dial, but it was pretty good. So now it's on set. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it down to REF, or reference. Alright, so I'm at about a little over 1.5. I'm like 1.7 on channel 1. Not bad. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to channel 40 and do the same thing. We're going to go forward, transmit, adjust it until it's on set, and then flip to reference. Alright, now I'm in the good range on channel 1 to 1.5. So, basically this means I need to lengthen my antenna slightly. So I'm going to go do that. To lengthen the antenna, what we do is we take the removable tip off. At least this is how you do it on a Fire Stick. And now I'm going to take this adjustable screw and I'm going to wind it out just a little, because that was pretty close. And now I'm going to put the tip back over. You always want to tune with the tip on because you're going to be running with the tip on. Okay, now that I'm adjusted and on channel 1, SWR is about 2, and that's a little high, but I'm going to readjust as soon as I get into a wide open space, so that's going to be good for now. Then if I go to channel 40, you can see my SWR is at like 1.2, which is great. And if I go to channel 19, which is well, you can hear now. Channel 19's right in the ballpark. I'm not even going to transmit, but these are all the. This is basically the trucker channel, so they're just jabbering on that all the time. And this is pretty encouraging actually, because that means I'm dialed in pretty well, because there are no trucks anywhere around here guaranteed for probably 4 or 5 miles. So I think I'm dialed in pretty well. Now I'm going to mount the CB up right behind the center console. So the bracket's going to go right there. I think that'll be good. So just a final look at everything. Here is the mount. I have the cable, it's not too pretty there, but I'll fix that, running along that bed rail. Then it goes down under the truck. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but it goes into that grommet right there. Comes up right here, pretty clean, not too bad, barely noticeable, under the seat. And then the CB is mounted right here. And I can easily take off the mic and stick it back on. And I can change channels just by looking over. That's real solid. I mean, it can flex, but it's not moving anywhere. It's definitely not going to fall off or anything like that. Anyway guys, hope you like this little install video. Hope it taught you something. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. There's my handle. And more pictures and videos soon. Overland Rallies next week, so get excited. See you guys.